Owing to its geographical makeup and location, the Philippines is perpetually prone to natural disasters such as floods, earthquakes, and landslides. During these unfortunate events, Filipinos who are directly affected by these disasters are forced out of their homes to seek shelter in evacuation centers for prolonged periods of time. The initial flow of relief would be for health and sanitation, as well as food and clothing. One major concern is that education and learning are abruptly halted because children cannot attend school after evacuation. The government and some NGOs do their part by providing temporary classrooms, learning modules, and school supplies to address this problem. Although the traditional form of teaching is effective in addressing the problem, finding alternative means of developing their communication skills is an urgent concern. These alternatives not only help children better express themselves, but they also enable a more proactive approach in learning, especially for those living in a sensitive environment such as an evacuation center. In some classrooms, theater is being used as a tool for learning. Educators agree that the arts promote and enhance academic growth in terms of reading comprehension, literacy, and interpersonal communication. The purpose of this study is to evaluate the communicative characteristics of theater as an effective learning tool to address the communication skills development of grade 5 and 6 students that are living in temporary shelter communities. The outcomes are measured using their literacy and reading comprehension skills. By exploring and looking at the communicative characteristics of theater as a channel to address learning in literacy and reading comprehension teaching, we can gain insights on how to integrate it with standard teaching methods to achieve a more comprehensive education plan for children living in temporary shelters. The study aims to assess if the communicative characteristics of theater are effective as a channel to learning in bridging the literacy education gap among children from grades 5 to 6 who are living in temporary shelters. We will look at how media is used in and for education. To know more about this, we need to understand what is the theory of educational media and why does it focus on teaching that has a special focus on the use and function of media. According to Kvartrup, all teaching, including communication, is mediated. The idea that the relationship between student and teacher has an objective to teach or educate, it means that it is mediated. Teaching is considered a specialized form of communication because the message passes through a medium. In this case, skills or education is transmitted by the sender to the receiver through their communicative medium, which is education or teaching. The educational media theory, based on the third assumption of the media pedagogy, discusses how forms of media are basically communication tools used by teachers in order to impart teaching. Communication is said to be successful if the sender is able to transmit the message to the receiver, and the receiver understands it. This premise is what we will try to prove in using theater as a communicative medium in teaching and improving the students' communication and literacy skills. In a classroom setting, the teacher is the sender or the source of the message or information. The student is the receiver, or the one whose understanding of the information given to him or her will be our basis if indeed communication was successful. The medium is theater and its communicative property through mediation media, teaching media, and subject production media. The cases in the study are to be purposefully selected with the following criteria: age, availability, willingness to participate in the research, and ability to speak either English or Filipino. The cases should all be at present living in temporary shelter or evacuation centers in Luzon and are currently enrolled in going to temporary built classrooms set up by the local government. Initial questions will be asked from the parents or teacher to verify that each case passed the minimum qualifications that they should be from grade 5 to 6 between the ages of 11 to 12 to fit Piaget's stage of concrete operational development. In Piaget's stages of cognitive this stage is where the children can already grasp abstract ideas and concepts such as love, freedom, and hunger. This is the stage where they, with the help of language, vividly explain their experiences of such phenomena. To have a baseline information and to be used for comparison after the intervention, we will be administering a K-12 assessment exam at the beginning of the research. If possible, we can translate the exams into Filipino to localize it since the exam will only be used to assess the students' present communication and literacy skills. This K-12 assessment exam is originally used for placement recommendation. The class will be given a different set of exams whether they are grade 5 or 6. However, both classes will be taking 3 kinds of tests. The Reading Placement Assessment Test that measures the child's ability to read and understand text. The Language Skills Placement Test, which tests cover basic grammar, usage, and mechanics. And Writing Tests, tests that covers vocabulary, writing style, mechanics, focus, and understanding of the topic. After the initial assessment of the students' communication and literacy skills, we will start introducing theater activities as part of their class curriculum. For a span of 4 weeks, we will be having theater activities and exercises to improve their communication and literacy skills twice a week. An 8-part lesson plan will be created based on the Basic Integrated Theater Arts Workshop given by PETA, or the Philippine Educational Theater Association. Under a month after the theater workshop intervention, the same series of tests will be conducted in the same manner to see whether there was development in the students' communication and literacy skills. Since most of the activities done during the intervention involved the students having to talk, communicate, and come up with ways of expressing themselves, this series of lectures may have helped them brush up with the way they communicate and express themselves better. This intervention may also help in their literacy development because they are engaged in learning activities.